This recording is brought to you by Hallmark Gift Books, a division of Hallmark Cards Incorporated. To learn more about interactive story buddies, visit us on the web at hallmark.com/storybuddy. Now it's time to press Pooh's ear to get him ready to read the story with you. When you hear, it's time to turn the page. Enjoy the story.
Disney, Winnie the Pooh, Pooh and the Smackerel of Cake by Linda Staton. Illustrated by Mario Cortez, Keiko Murayama, and Elena Nagy. Winnie the Pooh woke up early one morning. Think, 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 he said to himself. I'm thinking that I'm forgetting something special about today. Suddenly, Pooh heard someone, or rather two someones, knocking on his door. Good morning, Pooh, said Roo. Do you know what day it is? Asked Kanga. Why, I believe it's today, said Pooh. Isn't it? Kanga smiled and shook her head. Pooh thought and thought, but he just could not remember. Today is Piglet's birthday, Kanga reminded him. Oh, yes, Pooh replied. That is what I forgot to remember. Would you like to bake a cake for Piglet together? Asked Kanga. Pooh clapped his paws. Then he said, Piglet is one of my favorite friends. And birthdays are some of my favorite days. We should bake him a acorn cake. I want to help, Roo said excitedly. As Pooh, Kanga, and Roo gathered acorns, Pooh invented a little cake hum. Acorns, acorns are sure to make a perfectly piglety birthday cake. Pooh placed the bowl full of acorns on his table. He watched as Kanga added honey, flour, and 2 eggs to the bowl. Might it need just a smidgen more honey? Pooh asked. Kanga added a smidge more. The batter smelled delicious. I feel a bit rumbly in my tumbly, Pooh said. Perhaps I'll just have a little smackerel. So he had one. And then another, just to make sure. Maybe a little more honey, he said hopefully. Kanga stirred in another dollop of honey and placed the cake in the oven. Not knowing how long a cake should be baked, Pooh sat down and waited. When the cake looked like a cake should look after baking, Pooh put it on a pretty plate and covered it with honey frosting. Why, Pooh, said Kanga, what a wonderful job you've done. Piglet is going to love his birthday cake. Pooh blushed. Thank you, Kanga, he said. It wasn't long before Owl stopped by. He helped Pooh write, Happy Birthday Piglet on top of the cake. Then Pooh, Owl, Kanga, and Roo headed for Piglet's house. Pooh felt very happy. They met Tigger along the way. Hoo, 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 hoo! Tiggers love birthdays, he shouted. Tigger was so excited he could not stop bouncing. Suddenly, Tigger bounced the cake right out of Pooh's paws and straight up in the air. It landed with a plop right back on the plate. Why, I never knew cakes could fly, Pooh said. Everything happened so fast. It was all rather confusing. There, on top of the cake, was a little nest shaken from a tree limb. "A cake should be sweet, but it shouldn't tweet," Tigger said. "Besides, a little bird never stops a Tigger." After Tigger bounced the nest back into the tree, Pooh tried to smooth all the messy spots from Piglet's cake. As he did, he had a nibble, just to make sure it still tasted right for Piglet. Then Pooh stared at the plate. How strange! The cake was shrinking. The friends began to walk to Piglet's house once more, with Pooh Bear leading the way. As they walked, Tigger wondered, Pooh, did you decorate the cake with bumblebees?" Tigger scratched his head. Pooh looked down. Bumblebees were standing right in the middle of Piglet's cake. "Please go away, bees," Pooh said. As he tried to shoo them off, his paw landed right in the cake. "Oh dear," Pooh exclaimed. "I'm afraid I've made a bit of a mess." Pooh wiped away all the crumbly parts from the cake. Now there seemed to be a lot of plate and not much cake. It really was true. The cake was shrinking. As they strolled along, the wind grew blustery. The plate tipped, and the cake almost fell to the ground. "Look, Piglet's cake is crooked now," said Roo. "Oh, bother. This won't do at all," sighed Pooh. As they walked up to Piglet's door, Pooh tried and tried to straighten the lopsided cake, but each time he did, more cake and frosting stuck to his paws. He licked them off and looked at the pretty plate. All the cake was gone. Rabbit and Eeyore arrived at Piglet's house just as everyone else did. "Nice plate, very flat," Eeyore said. "It would look better with a carrot cake on it, though," Rabbit added. Piglet opened his door. "Surprise!" all the friends shouted. Pooh held out the empty plate. "We baked this for you, only now it's a bit more like an empty plate than a haycorn cake. Are you very disappointed, Piglet?" Piglet stretched out his arms to Pooh. "Birthday cakes are nice," he said with a smile, "but birthday hugs are the nicest." "Thank you for understanding," Pooh whispered to Piglet. "No, Pooh," said Piglet. "Thank you for being my friend." And with that, all the friends gathered around for a great big hug.